You can't you can't make this stuff up. Have you heard the latest regarding the lesbian brigade, the sapphic brigade, the DEI brigade at the LAFD, Los Angeles Fire Department? Have you heard this one? Have you heard the latest one? Oh, this is incredible. The accusation against the LAFD Fire Department. Assistant Chief Kristina Kady, or as I call her, Strangler Kepner, are nothing short of jaw-dropping. This is a glaring reminder, ladies and gentlemen, of how hypocritical double standards run rampant in today's politically charged, two-faced, hypocritical climate. And here we have a senior official, a supposed role model within the progressive DEI and in diversity, equity, and insanity, whatever, the inclusion brigade. Oh, this is what they're so proud of. You know how these people are. They're so incredibly proud of this. And what's amazing is they're accused of behavior so appalling it defies belief. Yet the media and the political establishment collectively have bent over backward to shield her from any scrutiny. Now, had these allegations been leveled against a Republican or a Trump acolyte or MAGA figure or any conservative figure, the outrage would have been deafening. It would have been wall-to-wall coverage, dissecting every specific lurid detail. But instead, the silence is as telling as it is infuriating. So here's the story. Court documents paint a rather damning picture of Strangler Kepner's alleged behavior. To wit, strangling her ex-girlfriend, chasing her with a butcher knife, issuing homicidal and suicidal threats, and even drafting a suicide note after slashing herself with said knife. Can you believe this? Now, this is this woman who was overseeing HR complaints and misconduct probes within the LAFD. This is a leader in charge of enforcing professional standards. Think about this. So let that sink in. The very person responsible for investigating others was embroiled in allegations that would make a soap opera villain pale by comparison, blush. Now, the ex-girlfriend's claims are horrifying. Strangler Kepner allegedly lunged at her, put her in a headlock, and forcibly kissed her while uttering threats to effing kill her. The situation escalated to Strangler Kepner reportedly wielding a large butcher knife, threatening to stab herself, and scrawling a deranged suicide note that blamed her ex for her breakdown. And even more chilling, even more lurid and crazy, the ex alleges this meltdown was caught on video. Footage that the court documents reference and which was included in the filing via screenshots. Now, the ex-girlfriend in this further claims that when she fled to Kepner's mother's house for help, Strangler chased her down the street with the knife in hand, taunting her by saying law enforcement would side with the firefighter and not her. This isn't just a case of personal turmoil, the usual angst. I mean, this is batshit nuts. Now, think about this. It's a full-blown horror show, so why do we know anything about it? Especially with Me Too and domestic violence and, What's worse is the alleged cover-up, always. Cover-up by the Fire Department brass, including Chief Kristina, the other sapphic leader, who the ex claims knew about the abuse and still move forward with plans to promote her. Makes you wonder if there's something else going on, man. Now, when the promotion was reportedly rescinded following public exposure of the allegations, it wasn't a moment of accountability. No, no, no. It was damage control. You see, the ex also accused Mayor Karen Bass of being complicit in sweeping the situation under the rug. Now, the optics couldn't be worse. A city's leadership knowingly promoting a senior official accused of violent, erratic behavior only to backtrack once public attention forced their hand. I mean, can you believe this? Now, the official response from the fire department and Strangler Kepner's camp reeks of official arrogance and dismissal. And despite the claims that the allegations were thoroughly investigated and found to be unsubstantiated, the ex-girlfriend contends that the department's internal investigation was, get this, surprise, surprise, fatally flawed. That's right. So Kepner, Strangler herself, as the head of the Professional Standards Bureau, this is the fire department's version of, I guess, internal affairs, was in a position, you ready, to oversee investigations into her own misconduct. I swear to God. The sheer conflict of interest is staggering. The ex-girlfriend refused to cooperate with the fire department investigation, citing concerns that Strangler's close colleagues were handling the matter instead of a neutral third party, which would make sense. I mean, that's kind of the way you do it. I mean, can you blame her? And even as the scandal unfolded, Kepner raked in over $500,000 in salary and benefits, all while maintaining her rank as assistant chief. And this isn't just a case of personal misconduct, usual stuff. It's a systemic failure of accountability and integrity within one of the nation's largest fire departments. And this is just incredible. And the LAFD, the fire department's initial denial of knowledge about the allegations, followed by their extremely and understandably panicked and freaked out allegation. And the backtracking, when confronted with the evidence, further underscores just how broken this process was. I mean, it's incredible. But let me explain something. Let's not ignore the glaring double standard at play here. If a Republican official, and you know what I'm saying, or a conservative public figure, or some Trump acolyte or ally, were accused of this very level of violence, the manipulation, the unhinged behavior, the media would pounce with a relentless fury, the likes of which you couldn't even imagine. We'd be treated to endless op-eds about toxic masculinity and abuse of power and the dangers of right-wing hypocrisy. Instead, because Strangler Kepner checks all the right DEI boxes and gender, lesbian, sapphic, and operates within the left's protective bubble, the story is downplayed, and the public is left in the dark. So where's the outcry? Where are the journalists demanding accountability from the fire department, from Mayor Bass, from Chief Crowley? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere. And the facts here are, to play it, well, to be understated, to be obvious, are damning, and the lack of transparency is appalling. So Strangler Kepner, a person entrusted with upholding the public trust, stands accused of behavior that is violent, erratic, dangerous, a butcher knife, self-harm, screaming down the... and completely at odds with her position of authority. And the ex-girlfriend's allegations, the documented evidence, and the alleged complicity of LA's top brass paints, well, shall we say, a grim picture of corruption, hypocrisy, and this systemic, to use Bishop Buddy's word, a systemic failure of a system, hence the word systemic, meant to serve the public. This isn't just a personal scandal. It's a wake-up call, my friends. It's a wake-up call about the dangers of prioritizing optics over accountability. And what this is nothing but this leftist DEI bullshit, front and center. So what are they going to do about it? What do you want to bet? Nothing. Well, you know what? There's a new sheriff in town. And there's a new sheriff in town. And there's a new Department of Justice. And a new everything. President Trump, we call on you right now to do something once and for all, to put this behind us and get to the bottom of this and find out. Do something, good sir. Do something to let people know and get to the bottom of why this absolutely cannot be allowed or not be permitted to occur without doing something about it. Now, you can do two things for me, my friends. Number one, subscribe to my channel. 87% of the people who watch my videos don't even subscribe. 87%. And number two, what do you think? Comment, my friends. Comment as to this incredible rancid hypocrisy. Comment as you, my friends, see fit.